decided to go ahead and shoot this video um, today on Motley Crue's 40th anniversary, January 17th, 2021. 40 years ago today, the crew was put together, officially assembled. How about that? That's awesome. Okay, so this video is, I'm going to do this kind of as quick as I can, because as you can see, I've got a Chiefs playoff game to go watch. Go Packers last night, yeah. Anyway, back to the music. This is going to be me ranking the Motley albums from worst to first. And I may actually publish this video before the other one that I just shot, which was just me talking about the anniversary and Motley's importance to me. Yeah, I wanted to rank these. I've actually done this before, but I never posted it. And then I lost it when the computer died that I had it on. So that's kind of my luck. Anyway. So yeah, ranking the Motley Crue albums from worst to first, in my opinion, not your opinion. I want to see your opinion down here in the comments after you watch this video. That'd be great. I want to start arguments with this because it's fun to talk about it with other Motley Crue fans. Just because we have different opinions doesn't mean I don't want to hear yours. So, don't be upset with mine. If my least favorite album is your favorite, tell me about it. I want to know that. That's cool. That's awesome. I don't care. I'm not offended. Anyway, this is according to me. And I will give reasons for positioning and stuff, so, we've got a little context for the discussion that hopefully comes after. Anyway, Guinness, the some tell, some smell alcoholic beverage. I'm sorry, I'm not able to stomach Jack Daniels anymore. I'm an old man now, so it has to be beer. Anyway, okay, so I am not including the '94 John Corabi Motley Crue album, and for all you '94 John Corabi album die-hard loyalists who are immediately going to dismiss anything I have to say because I'm not including that, I'm not saying it's a bad album. It's a good album, I guess, but it's not a Motley Crue album. It's just not. So anyway, if you're not happy with me not talking about it specifically and not showing it, well, I just talked about it specifically. I don't own it, so I'm not going to be able to show it. But just pretend I ranked it dead last, number 9. And there you go. Alright, so anyway, last on my list of what I consider to be actual Motley Crue albums, no big secret, probably. Theater of Pain. Was so excited for this album when it came out, as we all were back then. And there's some stuff on here that's, some real gems. Of course, you've got Home Sweet Home, which is the indispensable Crue song that comes off this album. I never, ever care if I hear Smoking in the Boys' Room again for the rest of my life. That'd be just fine. I don't need to hear that. That's kind of like Rock and Roll All Night with Kiss. Just no interest in hearing it again. Honestly, didn't like it that much when it came out. But anyway, I'll never forget, I got into Motley with the Shout album. That was the first one I heard. And then I went back and did a little bit of research and found out about Too Fast for Love. I bought it, introduced my friends to it. Then Theater of Pain came out, and I was like, awesome, I can't wait. And then me and another friend got the cassette, popped it into my cassette player, and cranked it up, and it started, and we listened to it, and just sat there in the parking lot of the store we bought it from and just listened to it. And then we looked at each other and we're like, yeah, it's great. And that was pretty much how I think most of us spent, you know, the next couple of years, talking ourselves into giving it another chance, and another and another and another. I probably listened to it every day, waiting for it to be what I thought it should be. And it, you know, until the Girls album came out a couple of years later, and then we were all like, oh, thank God they're back. But, you know, I would love to tell you that this has really grown on me over the ages. It's actually the opposite. It's grown away from me over the ages. I don't care about most of these songs at all. City Boy Blues, cool song, not the Motley Crue I want. And of course these are listed incorrectly on the back, which drives me nuts. Fight for Your Rights, Motley Crue singing about Martin Luther King Jr. Okay. Home Sweet Home, one of the great Motley songs. Keep Your Eye on the Money's okay. Louder Than Hell's pretty good. Raise Your Hands to Rock is my second favorite on this album. Love the verses, love the melody. Save Our Souls, pretty cool. Smoking in the Boys' Room. Tonight We Need a Lover. I like that one pretty good, but it should have been a lot heavier. Use It or Lose It. And the main problem, that's the main problem I have with this album. The whole thing, some of the songs are heavy, like writing wise, but they don't sound heavy. The whole album's got that sick, bright orange guitar sound. That's the only way I can think of to describe it. It's just so fat and heavy on middles, you know, mid-range. Oh God, it's awful. Going from the guitar sound on Shout at the Devil to that, I just can't. I can't do it. Okay, so next up, Generation Swine. Yes, I like this better than I like Theater of Pain. Sue me. So anyway, this has got some fantastic stuff on it. I don't mind my bands doing a little growing and experimenting, trying new things. If you don't do that as a band, you die, because you get bored with what you do and who you are. I really appreciate this album. I love this. Honestly, I ranked some of the other ones higher, but there are albums that I know are way better than this that I don't listen to a tenth as much, because this is interesting. The others were great, and then, you know. But anyway, favorite tracks on here, Find Myself, Afraid, Beauty, Glitter, Rocket Ship, Nikki Sixx's lead vocal. I don't despise Shout 97. I know a lot of people do seem to. I don't. I despise Brandon. All right, next on the list. No, wait, I did that. Yeah, Girls, Girls, Girls. Loved it when it came out. Still love it today. That's the thing. These are all Motley Crue albums. I love them all. Don't think I'm hating on anything, but I gotta explain why I ranked it lower than the other ones, right? So I'm gonna tell you why I kind of have some negative impressions from it. This is a great album. I don't think this album does everything it needed to do for me over the decades. So it's kind of slipped a little bit in my ranking because there is filler on this album for sure. And maybe they didn't think of it as filler when they were writing it and recording it. But I do when I listen to it. Honestly, Wild Side, another all-time great Motley song. Girls is great. Dancing on Glass, that might be a little fillerish. Bad Boy Boogie is definite filler. It's cool, but it's filler. Some of you might think Nona is filler, and maybe you're right. I love Nona. It's one of my favorite things on the whole album. 5 Years Dead, filler. All in the Name Of is great. I saw them on this tour. Here's my ticket stub here, with Whitesnake opening in '87. And I remember they opened with All in the Name Of, which I really was excited by. I didn't even know if they'd play it, and that was one of my favorite songs on the album, so I was happy about that. Something for Nothing, cool song. I really like that song. It's kind of filler. You're All I Need is fantastic. Oh my gosh. That's a great song. That melody, those lyrics, mixed guitar solo, whew, smoking. And then Jailhouse Rock, which is basically an excuse to give them 10 songs to list on the back of the album, I think. But I'm glad it was there. It was fun. You know, it's something I usually skip, though. I usually, when I get to that point, I just take the album out and put in a different one. Again, that one, they got back to a nice ballsy guitar sound. I'm not particularly crazy about the overall mix on the album. I do, by the way, I didn't pull it out for this, but I do have the 30th anniversary CD release of that. And it definitely does sound better to me. So kudos, thanks for doing that. All right, so next, Dr. Feelgood, and I kind of went back and forth on which album to put above the other between this and Girls. They both kind of slip into the same category for me. They're very kind of midline Crue. At this point, when this album came out, blew my mind. In 1989, this was the best album maybe ever, as far as I was concerned. That sound Bob Rock gave them on this album is incredible. God, so many great songs. I mean, there's filler on this too, but it's not the same kind of filler that's on Girls. The filler is even good on this album, like really good. I'm not crazy about Time for Change. That's the one knock I gotta give it. Just not crazy. Oh, sorry, 2 knocks. Without You. It's a good song. When it came out in '89, I thought it was a great song. And now I listen to it and I'm like, why did I even bother with that song? I don't care for that at all. So, I mean, you've got the obvious stuff, though. Dr. Feelgood, Kickstart My Heart, which is maybe tied for my all-time favorite Crue song, with Primal Scream. Sticky Sweet, She Goes Down, Don't Go Away Mad, Just Go Away, that's great. Love so many things on this album, but never want to hear it again. I don't listen to this album anymore unless something specific comes to mind that I want to go back and check out, and then I'll listen to the whole thing just to kind of have the experience all over again. But that's not Motley Crue's fault. That's my fault. I burned myself out on this album by listening to it constantly when it came out and for a few years after it came out. All right, so we are now down to top 4 in my book. And if you've been paying attention and you know your Motley Crue catalog, some of you are already like, what? Are you kidding me? You've got this album and that album above Dr. Feelgood and Girls? There's no way. Well, yes, there is. This is, again, my opinion, not yours. And in my opinion, the 4th best Motley Crue album is New Tattoo. Yes, it is. Tommy or no Tommy, and you may immediately ask, okay, you don't include the 94 album because it's got Karabi instead of Vince. How can you include this one because it's got Randy Castillo instead of Tommy? Well, I don't know exactly how it went down, but I don't believe for a second Vince left Motley Crue of his own choice. And I think that he was fired. Or at best, it was mutual. Tommy, on the other hand, absolutely 1000% was begged not to leave and left anyway. And fuck you, Tommy. Fuck you. I love you, but fuck you. So anyway, this is a great... After Generation Swine, they wanted to get back to the I Promise You This. One day you'll walk into the tattoo shop of life and say, I'm back, I'm ready for my new tattoo, and her name is Rock and Roll. Now it's time to make it permanent. Getting back to basics on this album, and I love it. I freaking love it. I don't love every song. It's got some filler on it, but Hell in High Heels, which to me is a little bit overrated, but still a great song. Treat Me Like the Dog I Am is definitely my favorite on here. Crazy fun song. New Tattoo, Drag Strip Superstar. Drag Strip Superstar is my least favorite song on the album. I don't care for that song. Just don't like it. First Man on the Moon's good. She Needs Rock and Roll I love. Punched in the Teeth by Love, it's kind of filler. Hollywood Ending is great. Fake, cool. Porno Star, my second favorite on the album. White Punks on Dope, and this has the bonus track Time Bomb on it. It's very cool. It is. But I can kind of see why it didn't make the final cut on the regular release. Alright, so that was number 4. What would be number 3? Well, yes. It's Saints of Los Angeles. From what I read in comments and see in other reviews, I gotta say this is the most underrated Motley Crue album and underappreciated Motley album ever released. And I don't care, you can curse me about the 94 album all you want. Anyway, I do have to say with this album, it's a little bit, not problematic, but interesting in that, and I've talked to a good friend about this, hey Birch, we both agree the album doesn't really start for us until track 5, Saints of Los Angeles, the title track. Before that, you've got LAMF, Face Down on the Dirt, What's It Gonna Take, Down at the Whiskey. And I like those songs, but those aren't Crue songs. I mean, they are. But for me, I listen to all that and I'm like, this is really good, but when does the title track come on? And then Saints of Los Angeles hits, and you've got MF of the Year, The Animal in Me, Welcome to the Machine, Just Another Psycho, Chicks Equal Trouble, which is kind of filler. This Ain't a Love Song, White Trash Circus, and then, oh my God, Going Out Swinging. Yeah, Going Out Swinging is my favorite track on this album. Definitely. If somehow you haven't ever heard it, please give this album a chance. It's on YouTube. You can listen there. Or iTunes or wherever you go for your tunes. But great album. Great. My third favorite Crue album. Especially from track 5 on. Okay, so here we go. We've only got 2 left now. Which order is he going to do this in? Pretty much every Motley Crue album ranking has these two albums at the top, right? But which order is he going to put them in? I wonder. Well, for me, it's like freaking torture trying to decide this sometimes, because as soon as I make up my mind, and I have made up my mind, but as soon as I make up my mind, I question myself, because, well, this is the album that got me into Motley Crue. This is like, if I'm making my top 5 albums of all time list that I have to have on my desert island, this is in that list. This is top 5 all time. So is the other one. But I'm putting this one at number 2. Shout out the devil. And why am I putting it at number 2? Because it's fantastic. I love every song on it. I don't consider any of these filler, not even Helter Skelter, the Beatles cover. Huge Beatles fan, by the way. And I love Motley's cover of that. It's so much more pleasant to listen to. But yeah, this is just incredible. This song still, every time I put it on, it's 1983 all over again. I'll never forget the best friend who introduced me to Motley Crue with this album, or cassette, more accurately. He and I went to our first concert together, and it was Quiet Riot and a band called Eric Steele opening up for them. That was on the, I believe it was the Condition Critical tour. My dad took us to that show. It was the Sedalia State Fair here in Missouri. And we loved it. We had a blast. It was so great. We got to hang out all day by ourselves. My dad just said, don't get killed. Don't don't piss anybody off. I'll meet you back here at such and such time. Go have fun. Just let us run. Good thing my mom's passed away. She'd kill him if she knew that. No, he's passed away too. Anyway, so I remember we, of course, we knew where the arena the bands were playing in was. It was an outdoor show. But there was fencing up around it, so you couldn't get in. So anyway, we wanted to hear, sound check and all that stuff. And we go up and we're just standing there leaning on the fence, and all of a sudden somebody just started playing something on this, I guess it was on a keyboard or whatever. It sounded just like the very beginning of In the Beginning, and that was our favorite part of the show, because we were both Quiet Riot fans. We wanted to see that show really bad. The concert was great. Quiet Riot was awesome live. But of the whole day, I think we got more excited easily by hearing what we thought was In the Beginning off of this album, because we were just that taken with Motley Crue and this album at the point. I'm not going to go through the list of songs because they're all my favorite. But if I have to pick one song off this to name as my favorite, Red Hot. Red Hot. Oh, to the top, Red Hot. All right, so anyway, that was 83. Then I did the homework and found this album, Too Fast for Love. And this is my number one Motley Crue album of all time. And I think pretty much always has been since I found it. This song and the lyrics and just everything about it absolutely inspired me from the moment I had time to let it sink in a little bit. I just absolutely love this Motley Crue. A little more punky and poppy and just kind of brutally raw. I absolutely love this album. And these songs, every single one of these songs, lyrically, when I was like 14, 15, they just spoke to me with such power. My favorite, God, ask me to cut off an arm or something. But I'm going to say Public Enemy number one is my favorite. There's something about the mood in that song and the lyric that just kills me. I just absolutely speaks to me. But they're all like that, man. On with the Show, Starry Eyes, Take Me to the Top, Merry-Go-Round, Livewire, Come On and Dance. I love them all. I really do. So anyway, that's it. That's my Motley Crue album ranking. I appreciate you hanging around. Put yours in the comments. And include the Karabi album if you want. Bash me however you want to. I'm just not talking about that album as a Motley Crue album because it's not. It's just not. Again, I'm not saying it's a bad album. It's just not a Motley Crue album. All right, hard rockers. Appreciate you tuning in. Thank you very much. There is another Motley Crue video out there, so hope you enjoy it too. Adios-ski. Happy Crewversary.